Hello, my dear friends. Hello. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Hello. Oh, hi. Hello, hello. So I'm again. I see myself here in my phone, my mobile phone, and here on my computer. But I was so nervous about starting this live because I thought that, oh, what if anything again goes wrong? But everything seems to be working. And my neighbor who is living on the second floor, he was listening to music, a very loud music, just 20 minutes ago, and I was like, oh, now he stopped listening to music. Okay. So I will be, sometimes I will be just looking at my screen. So just you will not see me like this, okay? Just to read your comments in a comfortable way, okay? All right. Greg Macmillan, hi. Trev Mac, hi. Hello, I can hear you. Dan Kurt, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm really glad you can hear me and see me, really. I was really nervous that something would go wrong again. Hi everyone, happy to see you all here. Scott Nesbitt. Hello, Scott. Hello. Um, Pamela J. How are you? I'm fine. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, let's start, I think, right? So now today we're talking about business in Russia. I've been working for many years in different companies in Russia, but today we will be speaking about small scale business and middle scale business. We will not talk about big business because big business in Russia mainly belongs to the state. It is controlled by the state and it does okay, quite okay, even now during sanctions. But I'm very interested in Russian mid-scale and small-scale business, and I was working for many years in such companies. So let's start. I think I will start with telling you about what I know about the Russian business, how it is organized, how it works, and also I will tell you about entrepreneurship, because it's also a significant sphere in business in every country, and of course Russian entrepreneurs work with some you know peculiar things that are different from some other countries, or how it's organized in other countries. So let's start. What I know about small scale business. So in Russia, it's not a problem to open and to start a business. It takes quite not many money. It takes maybe a week to organize all papers, all documents, and make arrangements with the tax office, with like banks, maybe a lot more with banks, but it's about a week will take you to open a company in Russia, or to start working as an entrepreneur in Russia. So what's not very easy for entrepreneurs in Russia is how they pay taxes, how they pay fees, because I know that in many countries you only start paying taxes and fees when your business starts bringing money. So while you are not earning, you're not paying. But in Russia, it's not like that. There are some payments, fees that you have to pay, that you must pay, no matter if you are making money with your business or not. And there are taxes also that you must pay, no matter if your business earns or not. So those payments are like pension insurance, or as we call it in Russia, социальное страхование. It's like social tax, social security tax, and medical care tax, so healthcare tax. Those are basic and obligatory taxes that any business, any entrepreneur must pay, even if they don't make money with their business. And also, I think there are also other fees, but those are like, the basic ones that you must pay. And for example, I researched a little bit, and in 2023 this insurance, pension insurance plus healthcare fee costs 45 almost 46,000 rubles. So even if you don't make money with your business, you have to pay this amount of money, almost 46,000 rubles a year. Of course, it may seem very small amount of money, but when your business don't make money and you are using your last money that you saved for your business, this amount of money may be quite a big amount. I was there in 2019. I tried to organize an online business, and they failed, but I had to pay those fees, but I didn't just because I didn't have money. And I wasn't registered as a entrepreneur, but I didn't have to pay that because I didn't earn anything. I didn't register, and I didn't earn anything, just because I didn't have money for promotion, for advertisement of my business. I just was a little bit stupid, starting a business without any money is just, it is silly. So it was a lesson for me. Yeah. Okay, just let me read your comments. So, do Russians have to pay school taxes or land taxes if they own their home? Yes. You have to pay the tax for land if you have your own home in Russia. It's not a big amount of money. It's quite affordable, especially if you have a very expensive house. That amount of money is nothing for you. About school tax, schools in Russia are free, but it doesn't mean that Mr. Putin takes money out of his pocket and pays for teachers and pays for maintaining schools. Not all the maintenance of schools and organizing this staff of teachers is made by me and my fellow Russians paying taxes, different kinds of taxes. Like I suppose this social security tax is one of them. So the money is spread for schools too. Even if you are start a company and you don't make money with your company, but you still have to pay this this these two basic taxes, but only for all your employers. And it's a myth about Russia that Russians have the lowest taxes in the world. No, it's not like that. It's just organized in the way that people don't see that they pay taxes. For example, my employer pays this healthcare tax and this social security tax in my behalf. It I don't pay them myself. My employer acts as a tax agent for the state. That's why people in Russia think that they are blessed to pay only 13% from their salaries. But it's not. It's a personal tax that people pay, but they also pay healthcare tax each month and social security tax. But those two taxes are paid by their employer. And if you have a young company, and if your company not earning much, you still have to pay those taxes for your employers because you act as a tax agent in this way. So not everything is so easy as it seems to be about Russia. Yeah. So I listened to one comment who said, in Russian system currently many people aren't motivated to go into business because if you are successful, the business is someone will take it away. Your thoughts? Yes, there is such a thought, and I think it's kind of true, but only if your business is getting from from small to mid, and then from mid to big scale business. So if you managed to organize in Russia a big business, there is I don't think there is any chances that you will stay, your company will stay a private company. Somehow it will be taken by a state or will be controlled by the state. So yeah, that's and that is the best way, because sometimes there were cases where the owners of such companies went to jail under many excuses, like I don't know, fake or not fake reasons, but somehow they ended up in jail and their business taken away to the state. So yeah, I think it's yeah, that exists in Russia. Not every company has to be like that, but I think it's only like big scale business. So yeah. So the dear garden, thank you so much for the question, and thank you so much for your donation. Okay. What about colleges? Are they state founded too, or it need to be paid? All there are, of course, there are private colleges. I studied at a private university, but they don't have a very good reputation in Russia because they are young mainly. they don't have the necessary level of education, but my university was a very good university, and you know, the education that I got in my university, private university, regarding English and linguistics was way better than they provided at a state university in that city where I was living at that time, in Smolensk. So yes, the universities and colleges are mainly funded by the state, and of course they belong to the state. And of course, when you take a free place to study there, it means that everybody in Russia funded you because it is supported by the taxes, by the money that payers pay. But in Russia, you pay also. There are not only free places, but there are paid places in universities and in colleges, as far as I know. So yeah, you sometimes you have to pay if you don't have so many like points to be able to enter the university with a free place. You will have to pay. Yeah. Could you please make video on mortgage for foreigners in residential properties? You know, I don't know much about mortgage for foreigners. Sorry, but I don't think I will be able to make such a video. So it's very difficult to start and succeed with a small business in the USA. Majority, um, if them fail. Yeah, the same in Russia, I suppose. Yeah. For example, I can tell you that several times in my career I worked at companies which were like semi-legal, not just like semi-legal. They didn't pay all taxes, you know. So I got my salary in an envelope, not like the parts. It's called like gray sector, gray business sector, when when companies don't pay all taxes and they send one part of your salary to bank card, and the other part of the salary you get in the envelope, like with cash, because they don't pay taxes from that amount of money that they pay to you in an envelope. That's why. But of course, it means that you will not get pension allowance, pension money in full scale if you work in such a company, because they don't pay tax for that amount of money. um, I hope you you understand me, because I don't think that in your countries there are possibilities to work like that. And in Russia there are also businesses that work like black sector of economy. That means that the majority of taxes such companies don't pay. They pay like only the basic fees and taxes, and the employers of such companies get full salary in cash. So the bank doesn't see that money, and of course the tax office don't see that money because the bank don't see that money. You get your salary in the envelope, like literally in the envelope. So business and why business, so let's just talk about why business in Russia still works and still afloat. As you can as you can understand, with the what I have told you, the environment to to start business in Russia is not very friendly. Yes, there are some help from the government, but it's not enough, of course, for businessmen, for people who want to start a business. It's like very basic help, which will not get you business on the next level. Uh, so. Um, um, so the environment for people who want to organize the business is not very friendly, and it's very hard to get your business on the rails. And That's why Russian businesses, as well as Russian people, have learned the skill of surviving. Yes, if you want to set your business on rails, you just have to survive. You have to, for example, give bribes for some offices in Russia. You have to have the ability to, settle things with your with your friends, with the help of your friends, with the help of connections, with the help of money, and so on. So yeah, now in 2022, Russian businesses didn't fail, didn't collapse just because they have the skill to survive, as well as Russian people. If you want uh, to to succeed, you have to do that in Russia. If Especially if your company is middle scale and small scale. I know one example. When I worked at one company, it was connected with construction. So our contractor was a company that did the construction of parking lots. It was a very small company. So it was very funny when I heard that. So when we paid the amount of money under the contract between us and that small company, the director told our director that after paying taxes, after paying salaries, he himself, as an owner and the director of that company, had $200 for him and his family. And he said, "Oh my God, I don't know if I will be able to maintain my company like the next month." Yeah, so that's the story, and I was really shocked that that people who own companies, small companies, can live in such conditions. Like wow, it's just unbelievable. But unfortunately, it was true, because it was judging by his looks. You can see that he was telling the truth, because his clothes was very simple. His haircut was very simple. His mobile phone was very simple, was very basic, and people, I just really saw that he was telling the truth. So, and of course, the work in Russian companies, within the Russian companies, I suppose, is organized in a different way. If we compare to the work organized in like European companies. Why I know that? Because I was working with European companies from Russia. So I worked in our Russian companies, but we were working with European companies as our suppliers. And my tasks were constantly to make connections, to write emails, to order things, to like arrange things with them. So just I will tell you one one uh, thing. So when I worked in 2014, it was a company connected to oil and gas sector. We were selling equipment that loaded oil and gas into tanks, different kinds of tanks like railway tanks, marine tanks, and other kinds of tanks. So I was engaged with the work with spare parts for that equipment. And my task was to make connections, to order spare parts, to watch the process of their shipment, so to get in parts and getting those parts to the customer. So, and of course, we were engaged in oil sector, so we worked with Lukoil, Rosneft, and sometimes with Gazprom. So we were the suppliers of a German company. So we had a certificate specifying that we are an official supplier of that company in Russia. We were one supplier of that company on the Russian territory. So I participated in tenders in Lukoil, Gazprom, and sometimes in Rosneft. And at that time, in 2014, the process of tenders, of preparing for tenders was wow. I just prepared this thick, papers, like all the accounting reports, confirming that we are a real company, the letters that we want to participate in this specific tender organized by Lukoil or other company. So there was just a pile of documents in paper that I had to arrange, sign, stamp, and to mail to that company by mail, snail mail. So I did that, and one of the documents was the letter on the official letterhead, with the official letterhead from the German company, with their stamp and with their signature, that they allow our company to participate in that specific tender organized by Lukoil. And when I called my colleague from Germany and asked her to do such a letter, I told her, I will just give you the wording, I will give you the file, I will write this letter and send it to you by email. You have to print it, to go to your boss to sign it and to stamp it and scan it and send it to me. You know what she said? She said, oh, it's not in my responsibilities. I will not do that. We don't do that. We don't use official letters as the source of communication. That we will not be able to provide you such a letter. I was like, what? If I would tell somebody in Russia that something is not my responsibility, or I don't do this, or it's not a part of my job, I would lose my job the same very day, really. So, how do you think I solved this question? Because without this letter, our company would not allowed to participate in the tender. can you write your suggestions? What did I do to get such a letter, such a paper, a document? Do you have any suggestions? Pamela J. Not a clue. Yeah, yeah. I suppose you really don't. I would talk to her boss. Mm-hmm. Faked it. Yeah. Okay. So let me tell you what did I do. So I went to my boss and told him that I'm sorry I couldn't get such a letter. So maybe you have any ideas how to get such a letter, such a document. He said that he had two Russian people in that company in Germany, in that company. And they worked not in the spare parts department, they worked at the equipment selling department. So he said, he gave me a contact of this person. I called him. He spoke Russian because he was Russian, but he moved to Germany very many years ago, and now he was working at that company. So I called him and told my problem, told my problem, and I just asked him to to sign the letter that I compiled, that I made. So I sent him the file. He signed the letter. I don't know. He stamped it with the stamp, with the seal, and said they sent me the scan. So we were really lucky to have Russians working at that company. So yeah, that's how really work is organized in Russia. You can't tell that something is not your responsibility. And the case that I just told you, the story is not the single story. I heard that quite a lot, from European partners saying like, "Oh, we don't do that. It's not my responsibility," or "Our company doesn't do that." So, of course, when you hear that, you have to solve this problem. You have to find a person who will sign a letter or do what you need to be done. So, yeah, that's how we work in Russia. And even if you work in Russia, work with the Russian partners, you really can't say that something is not your responsibility. You have to do everything. So yeah, of course, if you are an engineer, you will not have to do everything, because your responsibility is to like make drawings of I don't know, like buildings or factories or something like that. But if you are a specialist who organizes the process, you have to really do everything possible to get the task done. Really, even if you don't know how to do that, even if you need to find a person who knows how to do that, you have to consult him or her. Then you have to do it by yourself, like and to learn a new skill. So yeah, and that's what is happening now in Russian companies. Like parallel import was implemented in Russia this year. So people just are organizing this scheme of work with companies so that they manage to get the goods that are banned, um, you have to organize their like delivery to Russia, to Russian stores, markets. So that's why Russian business is still afloat. You know, it just used to survive. So when it was surviving, in many cases it was surviving before the special military operation, and it has to survive to put more effort in surviving now. So yeah, that's the case. Why Russian companies are still afloat, and they will be afloat to the end. To the end, really, they will be making everything possible to keep working, to keep making business, to keep like employing people. So yeah, that's the situation with business, how I see it in Russia, how I know it in Russia. You know, it's my experience, personal. Yeah. So let me check the comment. So Biniam White, thank you so much for your donation. Thank you so much. Then, oh, you, Mikhail Stanishevsky, you would have had to send 10 different papers so it becomes important in Germany. Maybe, maybe, but I didn't have time. So, okay. Um, Greetings from the Republic of Ireland, Xenia. Baza Keegan, too. Hello, hello. So, what you are saying about the gray market is also in every other country, even the Western countries I'm sitting in right now. The UK, it happens here a lot, and I know lots of people working in gray job. Oh, then you know what I'm talking about here, yeah. Then you're familiar with this, and that's why Russian business keeps working, keeps operating in the situation like this, where everything is banned, where the flow of cargoes is destroyed, but still Russian companies managed to get goods into Russia. And then, so hi from Greece. Are there any comments in the Russian news about the energy crisis that Europe faces as a result of the Russian embargo? You know, there was a lot of fussing in Russian news about this crisis before the embargo was introduced, like before the December 2022. Now I don't hear anything. You know, I don't watch TV. I don't watch like state news. The only way that I get to know the state news is when I watch some reports on them on YouTube, like from bloggers. You know, they say, "Oh, on news they say that Europe will freeze this winter," and you know they show the report from this state news. But I don't watch myself state news, so I didn't hear much after December 2022. So I don't know. What about foreigners? Can they invest money in Russia, or they can expect discrimination? You know, I can tell you about IKEA. I think like in 2016 or 17, I read an article in on the internet about IKEA. They were considering leaving Russian market because the headquarters thought that Russian market is a very, very unfriendly environment because you always have to pay bribes to everybody. And you know, IKEA in Russia was a big company, and of course the state couldn't expropriate that business because it was a foreign business. So they it turns out that they just needed money from that business, additional money, like, you know. Yeah, so I read an article saying that it's very, very hard for IKEA to work in Russia because bribes are everywhere. um, you have to constantly solve questions that solve issues that are not connected with organization of business. So you also always have to talk to some governor or to some like people in power to make arrangements with them, you know. Just and they told in that article that it's very energy not saving but consuming, energy consuming, and you have to put effort in things um, that you don't need to do in other countries. You know. Yeah, so I don't know about foreigners. So it's the like rules of the game in Russia, you know. We call it working under the table. Have done that several times in my life. Yeah. So working under the table. Okay. So if you can comment on what happened to the Nord Stream pipeline, me question would be how. I don't know anything about Nord Stream pipeline, really. They didn't, you know, told me who it was, why it was done. I don't know. There are a lot of rumors, uh, like uh, mm, like thoughts and ideas about that, but I don't know. Um, how did bribery become so normalized? I don't know, really. I don't know. And you know, I have an experience of in my personal experience with, you know, so it was including an amount of money to the contract with Lukoil. I don't know if I'm allowed to say so, which was not based on the let's say, which was not based on the prices of of spare parts. So it was an additional amount of money included to the contract from our company to Lukoil, so that we would be able to fulfill that contract with Lukoil. Let's put it like that. And I had to do it because I was an employee of that company. So, yeah. I watched Nikki Proshin's video. When you're a Russian on YouTube getting paid for content, now you have to register as a foreign agent. Thoughts on this? So, Brian, thank you for your comment. I don't think that it's quite you must go, you know. It's only if you are a foreign agent applied by a foreign state. So if you are such a person, you have to register. if you get money from a foreign entity or a foreign state, and they give you the task to fulfill on YouTube or just in Russia, you are a foreign agent. And you have to read, and they, not you have, but they invite you, they offer you to come and register before you get into the list of foreign agents. Like, do it on like on your will. But you know, I'm not a foreign agent. I was not applied or appointed by a foreign state. I do all my videos on my own. And yes, my money that I get from YouTube um, are, yes, it's foreign, like foreign money. But I'm not a foreign agent, like de jure. You know, I don't have a contract with the other state for making content here. So in Russia, it's just the excuse to grant you this status. So I'm not like that. So why I will just go and register if I'm not a foreign agent? So I hope you understand me. Okay. Um, so is it easy to get a job in Russia? You know, when I failed with my business with my online business in 2019, I started to look for a job, and I spent 8 months, 8 months for that. Only after 8 months of interviews, phone interviews, I just managed to find a company to work, where to work. Yeah. Watch Nikki Proshin's video. He explains it as a must or jail. No, it's not like that so far. No. You know, on YouTube there are a lot of state-owned channels, so they also get YouTube money. So they also must go to this office and register as foreign agents. So will they? No, they will not. So why should I go? So so um so I think those were all questions that you had. Maybe you have other questions to for me regarding the work in Russia, how companies work in Russia. Oh, you know, I can tell you about what aid entrepreneurs get from state. As I said, so even if your business doesn't earn money, you have to pay fees. And there are must pay fees like healthcare and social security tax that is paid. But I think starting from 2018, the Russian government, the Russian state, started implementing many programs for those who are organizing business to make life easier for them. Like, for example, some business activities like teaching languages, hairdressing, and stuff like that, they can buy a license. instead of paying taxes. So that license, the cost of that license is different in different regions of Russia, but you can still have this license and work with your clients, like teaching English or teaching Russian, or giving hairdos for people. But there are not so many business activities which can qualify for this license. And once your income gets bigger, a certain amount of money, you will have to start pay taxes, and you will have to start you will have to amend the program for another program where you have to pay taxes. And also there are different regimes of taxes for different companies. Some companies pay only 6%, and some entrepreneurs have to pay only 6% of their income, of their business income. Some have to pay like on the flow of money in their company. But there are different tax regimes, and it of course it makes the life of your business easier. But again, if you don't earn, if your business don't earn at the start, it's not very comfortable, of course, to pay money when you don't get any money. So how big are taxes cuts in percent? So I told you about like something that is quite similar to cuts, I think. But dark shadow, what is tax cuts? Maybe I didn't understand that. I don't understand that. Maybe we don't have that. um, so does the Russian government had an equivalent to the US Small Business Administration? They assist small businesses with loans. Small businesses, of course, can take a loan, but you know the percent that they will pay in Russia is very, very big, like 8% or 10% or even more, even more. So not everybody will risk to take a loan because it's very expensive in Russia. So does the Russian accept foreign driving license, or it required to go in driving school again? Oh, that I don't know. I'm sorry, I just don't know. Jimmy, I want shakshuka. Shakshuka, I suppose, yeah? Oh, okay. All right. How foreigners can open business in Russia without dollars? With Russian rubles, you can go to Russia with your dollars in your pocket, and then exchange it into rubles, and start a company with rubles. I think it's like that, but I don't know for sure, really. What about foreign diplomas? That I don't know too, because I only had a Russian diploma. But I think your diploma may be accepted, because it's a well-known fact that European education and American education is better than Russian, and maybe your diploma will do here, but I don't know, really. Um, Neutral 69. How do you like Russian food and culture? I like Russian food and I like Russian culture, but with the Russian food, it's a little bit hard now because I excluded eggs, milk, and gluten from my diet, so it may and meat, so four. So it makes a little bit harder to eat Russian cuisine because it's all about that eggs, gluten, meat, and dairy products. So yeah, but I try my best. Watching from the Philippines, my friend, shout out to all. Hello, Philippines. Hello. Thank you so much for watching. Um, are small company having trouble with the supply? Um, yes, small companies having troubles with supplies, of course, because of the sanctions. Now you have to buy like spare parts and goods not directly from your supplier in Europe or America, but you have to buy those spare parts or goods in China or at the manufacturer where your supplier uh, orders those spare parts. So yeah, that's how now it's organized. Um, yeah. Um, so, how can someone carry $1 million to exchange for rubles? As far as I know, you can only carry $10,000. So several times, go back to your country, bring next $10,000 to Russia, and several times repeat that. Hi Xenia, I've been watching your videos for quite some time. You're such a kind person. Enjoy your channel. Thank you for posting. Uncle Grinch, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. It's nice to hear. How is life in Russia? Expensive, cheap? For me, it's expensive. I don't know about how about for you. Um, Here from Kansas, Mariah's mom. Hi, Kansas. Hi, Mariah. Oh, how Mariah's mom. Mariah's mom. Sorry. And Mariah too. So good to see you on live chat again. Your apartment decorations are looking so nice. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I bought that. It's not a picture. So here, it's not a picture. It's a poster. Yeah, and my like altar is here, and I have tea set on my table, coffee table. Looks like this, and you can see a picture there. I drew it. It's a very good method for your brain to start working in a new way, and I'm learning this technique, so maybe I will show it to you sometime and will be an expert in it. And this kind of drawing creates new cells in your brain, and those cells create new ideas and new ways to solve your problems and to achieve your goals and dreams. Yeah, so it's like neuro technique, neuro, if I'm not mistaken with the pronunciation. Sorry. Um, um, so Can you tell us average price per 1 liter of gas in Russia? Dark Shadow. I don't have a car, so I don't know. I don't know what prices are now. I just don't. Just when I, pass by the gas station, I just don't look at the prices just because it doesn't concern me directly. I only look for the prices of one way ticket to on the bus, or something like that. Yeah. Your videos are so insightful. Thank you, Ksenia. Juji, thank you so much. I hope I pronounce your name correctly. Sorry if not, sorry, but thank you so much for your appreciation of my work. Economy is based on trust and reputation mostly. And it's a question. Can you explain your question? I didn't get it, sorry. New cells in brain, definitely need that. Oh, Friendly, hi. Yeah, maybe we will just draw. I will organize a meeting, and we will draw in such a way. But when I learn the method myself and practice it so that I have results, then we will try to we'll try this method. So my dear friends, I would like to give you an announcement. So tomorrow I will give a Zoom call with my memberships, memberships participators. Sorry. with the in the frames of memberships. I have memberships on my channel, and tomorrow we are having a Zoom call, where I will be speaking of a very, very interesting topic, my very interesting experience. I'm sorry I cannot tell it like this in great public, but you have a chance to join the memberships, and there is a notification for the members about our tomorrow's call. So join us. And now for tomorrow's call, I invite all the members of the memberships. So you're welcome tomorrow at 7 p.m. Moscow time. And one announcement for those who was not sure about the tier where I will be sending postcards. Someone were not sure if mailing is possible from Russia. Yes, it's possible. I checked that. In December, I sent a postcard to UK, and it reached its destination, and now I'm preparing my own postcards. So it will not be just that I bought somewhere a postcard, for you. It will be my postcards that I'm working with my friend. So she's a artist, and I asked her to draw a postcard for my members, and for my for that tier. I forgot how that tier is called. Sorry, but the tier with postcards. So you can join and get my personal postcard drawn by my friend. So I will mail it to you from Russia. So yeah, and if you are interested, if you want to mail something for your family, friends, you can do that. especially if there is a postcard, maybe some letters, documents. You can do that. Mailing, snail mail works with Russia, so it's okay for now. Yeah. So, whew, okay. Well, I shout out all question I can come out. Russia is nice socialist state with nice people and extremely cold weather. Greetings to all people around the world. Yeah, thank you so much. And thank you so much for your questions. I'm sorry I was not able to answer all of them, but all the information that I have here, I just told you. Please, sorry for that. So there is a question in Russian. Do Russians, ordinary Russians, hate Americans? Personally, I don't have any hate to Russian people, only to the richest people who rule Russia. So that is a very difficult question because about a year ago I made a Q&A video, and one of the questions was the same very question: do Russians hate Americans? And I told my again my experience and my thoughts about that, and it was like some people really hate Americans because propaganda. It's not even. It's maybe. The video was maybe even 2 years ago, about 2 years ago. So before the special military operation started, and I clearly see how some people were negatively addressing Americans, but and there were young people. I heard on the streets how several times how young people talked about Americans in a very negative way. And it was a surprising for me because young people tend to be open-minded, educated, travel quite a lot, but there are people who don't do that in their early ages. So there were people who hated Americans, and of course with the start of special military operation and the narrative that it was organized by America, of course, made a lot more people who hate Americans, really. And especially they hate the government of America. Yeah. So, my dear friends, if you don't have any questions, I think we will be wrapping up for today. I hope I explained to you why business in Russia is still working, is still operating, and why it will not die in the nearest future. That it will be trying to be alive as much as it possible, as much time as it possible. So, my dear friends, so let's say goodbye to each other, and the members of my channel who are subscribed to the memberships, please go to you're welcomed to tomorrow's live call, I don't know, like Zoom call, where we will be speaking about very, very interesting topic regarding my experience. And believe me, that is a very interesting, over the top interesting topic. So you'd better, if you want to hear my story, you'd better hurry up and choose a level. So, my dear friends, thank you so much for watching, for listening to me, and See you in the next video, maybe next live stream or tomorrow. So, my dear friends, bye.